The United States has many exciting players abroad, and my question to you is this. Which USMNT player abroad are you looking forward to the most this season, and why? If you're new here, hi, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Marriage TV. I am your host, and in this video, I'm going to tell you 11 US men's national team players abroad that I'm looking forward to this season, my expectations, and why those players specifically. Now look, there's a lot more than 11 players to cover abroad. It's not like we're L3 that has 3 or 4 players abroad and it's very easy to cover and follow through all of them. We have many Americans playing abroad. And for that, this channel here, we have the solution. Me and Dustin, and this was actually Dustin's idea, not even mine. We have the US Men's National Team Abroad series that if you've been in the channel before the summer, you know this series. If you're new here, let me explain. US Men's National Team Abroad series, every single Monday we update you on the performance of the US Men's National Team Abroad players from the previous week. So expect that episode every Monday starting within the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's usually an 18-minute long episode, and in it, we'll cover the performances of the main players, probably 20 to 25 players. Now, any players that I leave out in this video, it doesn't mean I don't think they'll have a big season. These are just the specific 11 players I wanted to talk about, and you can feel free to comment the ones you want to talk about down below. Alright, so with all that said, make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy this type of content. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're looking forward to the USMNT Abroad series returning this month. So, with all that said, let's roll the intro. The first player I want to talk about is a player that unfortunately he just got injured, but I am still looking forward to seeing him make some progress this season, and that's Giovanni Musa from Valencia. Giovanni Musa comes into the season unfortunately with an injury, which we'll talk about very soon, and he had a lot of ups and downs during the last season. Under coach Javi Garcia, Giovanni Musa mostly played wide and usually at the right midfield position, which is fine, but he most certainly is more well suited to play central. Now, Javi Garcia is gone, and he was actually already gone at the end of last season, and Valencia is now under Jose Bordales. What does this mean for Giovanni Musa? Well, that's just anyone's guess. However, Valencia did face Villarreal on a friendly where Giovanni Musa even got injured after. They went with 3 in the back, and Giovanni Musa did play central. He played a central role, more of a 6 or an 8. There's not much info out there on the game, but he did play as a central midfielder, and that is a good sign. So the injury that Giovanni Musa has will keep him out for 3 to 6 weeks, which means he's going to miss the US Men's National Team September camp, most likely the World Cup qualifying, and miss the beginning of the season. What are my expectations for him this season? 1, consistency. He lacked consistency last season. 2, play central instead of wide, and hopefully the coach does that this season. That's all I expect from Giovanni Musa. Hopefully he can get 20 to 30 games this season in, mostly playing as a central, and can stay healthy, because it is a little worrisome that he got injured so early in the season and will miss the beginning and even a little bit of preseason. But I still expect good things from him. Let's keep going to the next player. The second player that I want to talk about is Giovanni Reyna. And well, now he's the number 7 of Dortmund. Jadon Sancho is gone. He has a full professional season under his belt, and he already had a pretty good season last year. Reyna played 32 games last season in Bundesliga, had 4 goals and 6 assists. My hopes is that this season he will get the goal number between 5 to 10 and the assist maybe in the double digits. So it will be amazing for him if he can get 5 goals and 10 assists this season. He might see more playing time with Jadon Sancho leaving. There's no big signing to replace Sancho so far. Malen did sign, but Malen does play mostly as a striker, sometimes wide, but it's not very similar to Jadon Sancho. Plus, Josh from JDTV has been here in the channel. He has a Dortmund channel. You guys should go check it out, by the way. He did talk about it with us, how on preseason, Rose, their coach, has been trying Reyna central. So we could see Reyna shift a little bit to a central role, wide as well, but if he does play central, he's probably at his best. So Reyna is our highest ceiling American in my personal opinion, and let's hope he makes another jump this season in his young career by being more consistent. That's mainly what he needs. He did show a lot of sparks of talent, so let's follow through with Reyna this season, as I'm very excited to see how the son of Claudio Reyna will do abroad. Now let's talk about Conrad de la Fuente, and he has a new home. Last season he spent time on Barcelona, mostly just on Barcelona B, but now he's at Olympique Marseille. He's going to play in Ligue 1, and while Olympique Marseille did lose one of their key players, such as Thauvin, that plays in the wing, that went to play at Liga MX, there's still competition there though. There's still competition, so let's talk about that. Young Brazilian prospect Luis Enrique is still there. Payet, the veteran that can play wide, is there as well. He plays central mostly, but he can also play right. Under that came from Roma will be another option. Conrad will have to fight for his spot. He will have to earn it. Maybe he won't start, but if he doesn't start, hopefully he plays a role at least similar to Tim Weah for Lille last season, where he came off the bench almost every single game. We need more winger depth, and Conrad can make a big jump and be one of those wingers to play for us. Maybe start, maybe be a bench player. Now, the one thing I've been noticing with Conrad is the technique is very high. He's very good on tight space, very technical. I'm worried a little bit about his work rate throughout the games. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the season. But I have some good expectations for Conrad. I think he'll play a big role in Olympique Marseille in a competitive league. And let's just hope he gets under his belt maybe over 20, maybe 30 games this season and get some nice stats and jump into our USMNT 23-man roster for the A squad. Now, player number 4 is Sergio Dest from Barcelona. So Dest starts his second season with Barcelona with more competition for his position. Sergio Roberto looks healthy this season after a season of several injuries. Emerson comes back to Barcelona after a very good season from Real Betis, different from Diego Lainez that didn't score any goal for Real Betis. All three of them can play right back, right wing back, and Dest will have to earn his spot. He'll have to fight for it. I want Dest to be more consistent this season and see some improvements on his crossing ability along with his defending. I want to see him make also way less defensive mistakes throughout the season and get more assists. He only had 1 assist last season, which is very low in my personal opinion for a very gifted player. There are also some transfer rumors that he could be heading to Dortmund and Bayern, but Barcelona already denied them and said they want to keep Sergio Dest. Yeah, so let's look out for Sergio Dest to improve on defense and his assisting, right? He needs to get better crosses and he needs to be able to assist players. He only got 1 assist last season. Let's hope he can hit at least 5 and win the competition with Emerson and Sergio Roberto throughout the season. All right, player number 5 is Christian Pulisic from Chelsea, our best player currently. He is our best player. We disagree or not with that. I think most people agree with that. So in regards to Christian Pulisic, it's for the first time he's playing a full preseason for Chelsea, and that can play a big role on him being healthy all season. He did struggle with injuries the past 2 seasons, and hopefully that's out of the way and we see a full season of a healthy Pulisic. Now, here's the first thing we need. Honestly, especially because we need him to be healthy. This season will end around 6 months prior to the World Cup. We need our main guy to be in form. I would also like to see him maybe lock in a starting job under Thomas Tuchel. That'll be tough because he does like to rotate, but maybe it can happen. I would also like to see him have double-digit goals and assists. Pulisic is turning 23 soon, and it's time for him to be consistent at the club level. So Pulisic has shown sparks of talent every single season so far, but he hasn't been able to remain consistent for 1, 2, or 3 seasons in a row. He's 23, almost turning 23. He needs to start being consistent. I want to see a season where he easily breaks 10 goals and 10 assists. That's what I want from this season. Maybe even hit 15. It'll be tough, but I think Pulisic can do it as long as he stays healthy. Player number 6 is Weston McKennie from Juventus. Weston McKennie had a great first season for Juventus under Andrea Pirlo, having 6 goals and 3 assists. Now Pirlo's gone and Allegri is back. The goal here is for Weston McKennie to keep the momentum going. Look, he had a really good season, played 46 matches last year. If he can keep this consistency, I'm fine. I don't think Weston has to ramp up his level. I think the way he's performing right now is just fine. It's just a matter of doing it in consecutive seasons, just consistently performing the way he had last season. So to me, if he can keep on the range of 40 to 50 matches and participate on 10 to 15 goals in assists or goals, I'm totally okay with that. It would be a fantastic season for Weston. Player number 7 is Tyler Adams from RB Leipzig. And look, Tyler Adams has been making jumps on Leipzig every single season, but I think this one will be even bigger. Last season, he made a big jump. Under Nagelsmann, he would play as a right wing back at times, sometimes central as a 6, sometimes as a box-to-box. He played a total of 37 games last season, much more than the previous one where he only played 17. What I hope for Adams is that under Marsch on the wheel, a more experienced and healthy Tyler Adams will make a big jump this season and play 40 plus games. Play mostly as a 6 as well. I'm not opposed to seeing him as a right back, right wing back, as it does show versatility, but I would like to see him play mostly central, and I think Jesse Marsch will do that. Jesse Marsch played a big role in developing Tyler Adams at the New York Red Bull days. He knows how to use Tyler to the best of his ability. I think he's going to play Tyler central for most of the season, and Tyler will make another big jump. 40 plus games this season should be Tyler Adams' goal, and strong performances, of course. And I think this season Tyler will make a bigger jump than he has ever made before, and hopefully be healthy when the US men's national team needs him. Okay, player number 8 is John Brooks. Let's talk about John Brooks. Last season we saw prime Brooks with very good performance, very consistent throughout the season. He helped Wolfsburg qualify to the Champions League, And this season, that's where he will be playing his first UEFA Champions League. I don't expect Brooks to have a better season than he had last season. He played 32 out of 34 Bundesliga matches. He was very consistent. He helped the team qualify to Champions League. Maybe all I want from him is to have similar performances. Yeah, if he can perform the same way and get some Champions League knockout experience, that is just absolutely fantastic. And I would love to see that from Brooks. And it'll be very important coming in near World Cup. We'll be 6 months away once the season ends to have our best center back with some knockout round Champions League experience. You know, playing against world-class players in general. He already does that in Bundesliga, but in Champions League, there's more of them. So yeah, if he can play 30-plus game in Bundesliga and get that international experience, I'm totally fine with that, as long as he's healthy as well. We've reached player number 9, and before I talk about him, please hit the like button if you enjoyed this type of content, and if you enjoyed the USMNT Abroad series. Also, if you made it this far in this video, put a little comment down below if you're excited or not for the US Men's National Team Abroad series coming back this month. Every Monday, the updates we're going to have. But now let's talk about Chris Richards, my player number 9. Last season, Richards struggled to get minutes until he got the loan to Hoffenheim in January during the winter transfer window. And for Hoffenheim, he played 13 matches and was fairly solid at the second half of the season in Bundesliga. Now Richards is back with Bayern, and Nagelsmann apparently wants to play a 3 in the back, something Richards has proved he can play while at his time at Hoffenheim. Bayern currently has 5 center back options at the time of this recording, so maybe Richards will get some minutes. I would love to see Richards play 25 to 35 matches this season, maybe break the 30 matches line. I don't know if it's possible. It will be very tough if he stays at Bayern. Now, if he does get a loan to Hoffenheim or another mid-table Bundesliga team, I can see that happening. And apparently there have been reports that Chris Richards does want to return to Hoffenheim. At the time of this recording, he hasn't returned yet, but it is possible. I would love to see Richards maybe play 30 matches. That would be fantastic. Throughout the season. It doesn't have to be all Bundesliga matches, but in general, right? Cup, Bundesliga, or international competition, whatever it is. Alright, so that's hopefully what we'll get from Chris Richards. And actually, Chris Richards is someone I'm interested in. Do you guys think he's the second best center back we have right now? Has he proven that already, or he still needs more time? We're getting to the end of the video. We have 2 more players to talk about. Player number 10 is Brenden Aaronson from RB Salzburg. Brenden arrived at RB Salzburg in January of last season, mid-season, right, for the European calendar. At the time, with American coach Jesse Marsch, now they have Matthias Jassel as their new manager, and what to expect is anyone's guess. Brenden Aaronson is expected, though, to play a key role, especially since the team has lost some key players last season, such as Pat Sendaka that moved to Leicester, and the midfielder Mbupu that made also a jump to the Premier League. And I think I said his name right, Mbupu, something like that. I tried to say it. He made a move to Brighton. Last season, in very limited time, Brenden Aaronson was still able to play 25 matches, get 7 goals and 5 assists. I expect Brenden to get 40 matches this season if healthy, a little bit of Champions League experience, and double-digit goals and assists. I think it's very doable, and that's the jump Brenden Aaronson has to make. Once that jump is made, he needs to make a move to a top 5 league. I do personally think he should be maybe even ready to go to top 5 league, but one more season at Salzburg under his belt might be perfect. Plus, he only played 6 months in Europe. Let's hope he can get 40 games, 10 assists, 10 goals. That would be perfect at Salzburg this season. By the way, just one quick update. The season already started in Austria. He already played a game, and he played as an attacking midfielder, a central role for that specific match. But once the Abroad series starts, we'll update it weekly on how the players are doing. You're going to get a better insight of how Brenden is performing on a weekly basis. Player number 11. I'm pretty excited for him because he's back in the Bundesliga. Julian Green is back in Bundesliga, and he's my player number 11, my last player that I'm looking forward to seeing this season. There's more, but yeah, he's my number 11. Julian Green is back in Bundesliga after 5 years, and I think he's ready to play a key role on the newly promoted Fürth. Last season for Bundesliga 2, Green played a key role for the team. In 30 matches, he scored 9 goals, had 2 assists, and if he can remain healthy this season as he did last season, get similar stats, it would be amazing, and it would most certainly put him back in the US men's national team. If he can get 9 goals and 2 assists in Bundesliga, he'll most likely be back with the US men's national team, play an important role, plus bring that veteran experience, right? Hopefully he can deliver, and I expect him to play around 30 matches in Bundesliga, get 5 assists and 5 goals, which would be solid. Alright guys, that does it for this video. Now let me do a little bit of some honorable mentions I just wanted to talk about while you're commenting down below the player you're excited to watch this season. and you're hitting the like button to support the channel. So some honorable mentions I want to talk about is Tanner Tessman that just arrived at Venezia. Gianluca Busio might be heading to Venezia. At the time of this recording, it's not confirmed, but it seems very likely. Caden Clark, that's likely to arrive in January at RB Leipzig. Robinson, that is still at Fulham. And then obviously I want to talk about Josh Sargent, Matthew Hoppe, that as we are recording, they are still at Schalke and Werder Bremen, but hopefully they get a transfer. We'll be covering them on a weekly basis every Monday for the US Men's National Team Abroad series. All right, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I look very much forward to returning with the US Men's National Team Abroad series. Very, very much. I missed it. I know all of you missed it as well. Dustin missed it as well, editing those videos every Monday. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great day.